to embrace it. The Community Podcast, exploring the intricacies of personal growth, mental health, and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Topics tailored for a global audience. Now, let's talk about it with your host, Bracy Goodwin.
Well, hello again. Hello again. Thank y'all for coming in and joining in tonight.
It's time
I
to
appreciate
embrace it.
everybody that joined in this evening, man. I'm telling you, I was sitting in the back here just trying to get myself ready for this, man. I'm so excited about tonight because I got two good co-hosts that's going to be coming on. So we got some good stuff to talk about tonight. Hey, call your neighbor, call a friend, let somebody know, share that this is going to be one of those topics tonight that you might just want to share and let somebody know. We got some topics that we're going to touch on tonight that's really going to impact your community, your family, your uncle, your aunties, whoever is going to impact them. But, like I always do before I get started, what I like to do is put that out there for the 988 suicide hotline prevention. I always talk about this because it's very dear to my heart. And I want you to know, or whoever might be listening, or whoever might drop in and see this later, you do matter. Your life matters to me. And this is why I put this information out there every time. You do have an advocate, somebody that will talk to you. 988 is that suicide crisis hotline 24/7, where you can reach someone. It's in English and it is in Spanish. So please do me a favor. If you are feeling any sort of way that is not comfortable to you and you just don't know where to go, 988 is what I need you to do. All right. Remember that. We love you. We love you over here over Embrace It Community Podcast. Well, hello to all of my followers. Once again, I like to give a shout out to my followers over in other countries, Nairobi, Kenya. I want to say Missouri to you, and over in the Dominican Republic, I want to say hello to you, Buenos dias to you, and also over in Pakistan. Now, I have some followers over in Pakistan. I don't know how we connected, but I'm sure glad we did. We connected there. So I'm saying hello to you and everybody. But like I said, in the beginning, if you're not following the Embrace It Community Podcast, go ahead and type it in and like and follow the page, because I'm going to be doing this every Sunday night. Every Sunday night, I come on here and I talk about different topics, even open forums and things like that. So we just want to make sure that you're okay in your community and pass the word in the community if you don't know who to talk to. All right, let me give you a quick, brief introduction of my co-host tonight. I got two brothers coming on tonight. One right here from Dallas, Texas, brother named by Marcus Cooks, and another brother over in the Bronx, Boogie Down Bronx, New York. My brother, man, I tell you, I'll tell y'all later about how I met this guy coming on here from the Bronx, New York, Kevlin Boles. He's going to be coming on, and let me a little bit about their backgrounds, man. Their backgrounds have been connected to me in a special way, and this is why this is called Life After Incarceration, because they've been through some things. And they made it today, and they're coming on tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them into the studio first. I'm going to get in here. One of my good friends from my church, the Mount Rose Church over in Dallas, Texas. I'm going to get Brother Marcus Cooks to come on in. Hey, brother, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Yes, sir, man. It's good to see you.
Yes,
I'm glad you are here, man. And let me go ahead and get my other brother on, Kevlin Boles. He's coming in as well. Listen,
all right.
Listen, we are on here live, and here's what we're doing. Life after incarceration. Life after incarceration. What does this look like? Now, let me fix this so that we can all look good on here. I want to see how I can get that. Make sure we all got a nice picture view. Hold on. Nah, I don't want that one. Where's the one I had? I guess that one will work. That one will work, fellas? That'll work? We good with that? Y'all are good? All right, I just want to make sure y'all are okay with that. So here it is. We're talking about life after incarceration, and it all has to boil down to one thing. We made it this far. You made it this far. You're a believer. Your faith is strong. Marcus, I'm gonna start with you, man. I'm just gonna let you go with the journey to freedom, man. And then we'll hear from Kevlin after this. But Marcus, talk to me, man. How, bro? How? How did you do it? How long? First of all, how long did you do? May I ask?
Man, I did right at close to 18 and a half years, man.
Wow,
And
wow.
man, let me tell you something. It started out, man, there is no fault on my parents or anybody like that, man. It was just a decision that I tried thinking I was gonna be slick about and get away with. But man, let me
Wow.
tell you something. The law of the streets, man. You ain't gonna get away for too long, man, if you're doing it the wrong way, man.
Right, right,
Uh,
right, right. You're right.
Almost 18 years, man, being incarcerated, man. I seen a lot of my, people I was doing time with, man, lost their parents, lost their fathers and family
Hmm.
members, and I was a young man, just turned 17 years old, man.
17. Whoa.
I turned 17 in at Gold Reek, man, doing being sworn into the getting your haircuts and your shower, you spraying you all off with making sure you ain't got fleas and all that type of stuff, man. So yeah, I turned 17 and going through clarification. Say, man, and as I sit here and reflect on that, man, I thought life was over.
Wow.
I
Wow, man.
I just totally gave up, man. You know, facing that 50 years, man, gave me 50 years, man, at the age of 16, man. And you would think I'd murdered the president of the United States, man.
Bruh, that's what I was
Uh,
about to say, man. Wow.
they was throwing young black men. Basically, man, I'm just being real. They throwing them away quick, man. They killing our youth.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
putting you
yeah.
down there, man, to where you're knocking all.
It looks like Marcus froze up.
I gave up.
Oh, okay, there
Can
you
you,
go.
can you hear
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
brother?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Okay.
And
Wow,
just to
man.
see my mom there behind them bars, and man,
How was it for the family, man? How was it for your family seeing you like that? How was that, man?
it
How was
was it was it was really rough on my mom, man. Being that my mom, she was a single parent, man, and she was
wow.
taking care of four kids, man. I had three brothers, well, me and two other brothers and older sister, man.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Me being the next to the youngest, wow,
Wow, man.
it's a breath. It takes my breath sometime when I think about it, but in spite of all that, man, when they say, "Oh, you weren't gonna amount to nothing,"
I
you weren't
know.
gonna do nothing, man.
Yeah. Look
And
at you.
yeah, man, we
Yeah.
gave up on you because you done gave up on yourself, which I did, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see the light, man. Being that young and have to do that much time,
Wow.
I was just, hey, man. First 12 years of that during that time, man, I did it the way I wanted to do it. And
Ooh.
I acted a fool down there, man. And they almost killed me 3, 4 times down there, man.
Hold that thought, man. I just want to make mention of the people that's joining in. Pam, I see you from Lancaster. Lena Graham, Aquanetta, Yocasta, and let's see, AJ Perry's on watching. If y'all got some questions, go ahead and throw it in the chat now that we see you, and we'll get to the questions to my staff here that's on board and to these brothers that's coming on. But man, fighting. Listen, I was a correction officer, so I'm letting you hear from now. This is Texas, and Kevin from New York, so he was part of my unit. I know it was two different worlds, but man, tell me about that at that age, that young age, surviving at that young age, man. Tell me about that.
That's all. You being incarcerated at that young age, there, man. It's all about survival now. You know, I didn't
So
know. I was scared, man. I ain't gonna sit here. A lot of people, man, I wasn't scared. I was scared, man.
right.
It was like being in a foreign country, man. You know, and your head stay on the swivel because you're hearing people getting killed, thrown off 2 row, 3 row, people getting
What?
stabbed in the child house. Then you sitting there eating, man, and dude get his whole head cut off. I'm sitting at the table with a guy, man, his man decapitated his whole head, man. You
Wow.
understand what I'm saying? So just to see things like that, And
Wow.
but I'm gonna tell you, after about 12 years, man, I met this guy down there in his college, Shorty Richmond. He was a half a body man. That meaning he didn't have no muscles in his legs. All this upper body, he was born this way. But that dude told me something, man, and it stuck with me for a long time. The rest of basically my life, it still stick with me. Are you gonna continue to be a dummy, running around here playing games? And just letting these folks tell you what you ain't, as far as your life ain't gonna be never good, ever again. You just give up. And man, I just started getting my life together, man. Started going to church, man, praying. Because I didn't have a relationship. I didn't know nothing about a relationship, having a relationship with God.
You didn't know nothing back then?
I didn't know nothing about trusting God. My mom, mom, they prayed, went to church and all that. But see, when you got to build that relationship for yourself,
right,
you got to know him for yourself. All that other don't even matter. You better know him for yourself, man. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the relationship I had to start developing. Lord, if you're real, if you feel like everybody say you are, I need you to come into my life. I need you to disrupt some things in my life.
Okay.
If you're real, like you say, I need to feel you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's the first time in my life, at the age of 17, going on 18 years old, man, I felt the Holy Spirit.
Oh man. Ooh, wow.
17. Coming to my cell, man.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
What I'm saying? I'm talking about this the first time in my life that I ever felt the anointing of the Holy Spirit.
Wow.
It freaked me out. But I'm gonna tell you something. He put me. I was in a position to where Mama couldn't help me, Daddy couldn't help me, could nobody help me, man. Wow. And what God did was He put me in a position to where I couldn't do nothing but recognize the power.
Yeah.
Of Him.
Right.
Because He took everything. I ain't have a soup in my cell, man.
Whew.
He put me in a position to I couldn't you ain't finna thank nobody else, but you gonna know it's me.
Right. So we got some questions for you, Marcus, coming in right now. And that's why I'm glad we're doing this, man, because we got some questions coming on. First of all, Lena Graham just said it can be difficult for individuals with a criminal record to overcome negative stigma associated with incarceration. Is that true, brothers? Is that true?
Well, if you ask me that question, it can be true, but let me tell you something. That person have to have a change of a mind. If you can change the way you think, you can change your own life.
There you go. What about you, Kevin? Move up to the mic.
Thinking. Of course, if you change your way of thinking, naturally, you're going to change your entire life.
Yeah.
Because it starts within you.
Right.
Everything starts within you, and this is when we find ourselves.
Right. Turn your music down a little bit. I think your music is on in the background. I can hear a little bit of it. But yes, it starts within yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, got another question for you, Marcus. Since you're going first, it says from Ezel King, what advice can you give to our young black young men who are headed down the wrong pathway? That's a good question.
It is a very good question. It's about building. You have to have a foundation built around these young men nowadays, and to have a person that's headed around the wrong road, man. Just to be able to, I would love to be a mentor, to be a they got this thing about being a big brother, this and that. A bunch of that is watered down, but if you can come from the heart, man, and share with a young brother and give him your testimony, love on him, because a lot of these young kids right now, they're growing up without a father, or he's growing up without a mother. You know what I'm saying?
Don't even know how to spell father. Yeah. That's how non-reverent the father's been.
Yeah, it's no structure, man, and they run into the streets to find this. You know what I'm saying? But man, just to be able to touch one-on-one, touch hand, and do things together that's positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I see a young brother going down the road, I used to, just look at him, the man going on. No, come here, little brother. Come here. Come
Okay.
here. You
Got
know,
another question for you. And I think this was a statement, but help AJ Perry with this. Talk about the trauma of a cell life when you're in the cell.
the
What type of
trauma.
trauma
Wow.
did you have to endure in that cell? 18 years. 18 years, bro.
I had lost my mind. I had to lose a lot to restore life back. To be sitting in them 6x6 or 6x4, whatever type of cell there is, man. I had lost my mind, man.
See, Marcus, I'm trying to understand it, man. Like I said, from being a correction officer myself, and not knowing, that this was the stuff that a lot of inmates was dealing with in their mind, man. I'm coming there, just trying to do my 8 hours and go home and connecting with a couple of people, like we said. But just hearing this, did you have anybody, any officer, any counselor, anybody like that you can reach out and say, help? I've fallen and I can't get up. That's what we talked about last week. How do we get up from this, man? And then there's another question. How have you dealt with, Lena wants to know, how have you dealt with PIC, which is post incarceration syndrome? Is it a psychiatric disorder that affects individuals who have been incarcerated and then are released back into society? These difficulties can include adjusting to life outside of prison, forming and maintaining relationships. How did you get back into that groove, that forming and
What you say, man? Look here. I didn't sidestep nothing, man. Let me tell you something. You got a choice to make, Doc.
Yeah.
Get up out of there. Either you're gonna do it, either you're gonna go this way or that way, and I choose to go the right way. I had to build a relationship with God, man.
Yeah.
Because see, that ain't nothing to play with.
No.
And that's why I had to. I'm saying I can understand being locked up all them years and being, having this mind. I can't make it out here in society. Look, man, stop it.
Right. Stop
You
it.
got to grow up.
Quick.
You have to grow up, man. Wow. as some man would say, I heard my bishop say one time in church, say, stop asking your shoe size.
Yeah, I remember that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, act your age, not your shoe size.
Act your age, not your shoe size. So therefore, these things is people don't want to hear, but you have to grow up, man. And I know the only way that I was going to be able to make it out here, I had to stay rooted on the last 4 years of my sentence, my doing time. I had started developing a relationship with God, man. And it was a real secret relationship, man. So I had to get that, and didn't leave it at the walls either. You got most guys not leaving their word at the wall. No, I took it with me.
Right.
That was my foundation, because God, I know you ain't brought me this far,
right,
to be a setup or leave me behind right here.
Yeah.
I'm still trusting in you.
All the way.
All the way. You can't be jigging and jagging.
Okay. So was it hard to reconnect with your family? Was it difficult?
No, it wasn't hard, man, because and I understand some men get out of here, don't have a family to connect with. They don't want to have nothing to do with them. Hey, man.
Right.
You still gonna have to stand on your own regardless.
Yeah.
And trust God.
Right. Because I know they did look at you a certain kind of way, though.
Yes, sir.
We love you.
I had some family members didn't want nothing to do with me, man.
Wow.
Because they still looked at me from the old markers.
Wow.
It took them years. 21 years. This December be 21 years on the ground, man.
Really? Wow.
So it took years since I've been home.
Okay.
For them to start realizing, seeing because what they was doing, they still trying to watch me, and I'm controlling their life because they sit back wondering, I wonder how long this gonna be.
Yeah, thinking you're gonna have a relapse and go kick back and do what you used to do.
But see, what God did was He kept allowing me to reach for His grace.
Woo.
I'm gonna continue to reach for His grace.
We all are, right?
Each day, man.
Are.
So that's I get emotional, man, with it, man. But I know how good God is.
I see you every Sunday, man. Yeah, I know.
Man.
Good evening, Alexis. We got more people joining in. Alexis, good evening to you as well from New York. And then my cousin Darren Malachi, he's also joining in out of Connecticut. And we all got the big families and everything. Marcus, hold tight. Don't go nowhere. We're going to get back to you, man, at the end. But my boy, Kevin Boles, that's my brother from my brother. Man, go ahead, man. Tell everybody. First of all, tell everybody about you. We're going to go into what you got going on. But tell everybody how you and I connected, man. And you say it better than I did, but go ahead, tell them.
Actually, it was different. I was locked up, and he was my officer.
Yeah,
and he actually came in. He started on a Sunday.
Did I really? Yeah, okay.
Yes, he started playing his church music in the prison early in the morning.
I sure did.
And we was ready to start throwing bars of state soap so he could turn off his music, because we're not into your music early on a Sunday morning.
Right.
Where you coming from with that?
Right.
So
I remember, man.
Right. Through that, we started talking more, and he started calming down a little bit with his music, but he was a brother not to be reckoned with. He held his own as an officer. And I think us as prisoners appreciated his approach.
Right.
That's when we started coming a little bit closer together from inmate to prisoner.
Right. Because my whole thing was, I'm here, right? We're gonna get through this 8 hours, right? And respect me, I'll respect you. Don't ask me to do no favors. But this is how we gonna get down, and this is whether it was in the morning or in the evening. That was my every day, because like I told you before we got on the air, I said to you, how would I want to be treated if I was the inmate and I had an officer as you and watching over
that love and respect.
That love and respect. Right. That's how I was. And that's the only way I knew to be.
That right back.
Right, man.
As a unit, because being in that prison, well, it wasn't no real prison. It was a step away from going home.
Arthur Kill, right? Correctional facility.
Kill Correction was a medium. Right. I just had left. I think it was Greenhaven Correctional Facility.
Okay.
It was the craziest prison upstate, and it was a blessing to come from there to go there.
Right, Marcus, you thought Sing Sing was bad.
No, Sing Sing. That's called swing. Swing.
Greenhaven, right?
Greenhaven was a lot of murderers. 68% was everybody was never going home.
Right.
So me just having that little 30-25 was okay.
Okay.
I actually didn't realize that the judge was serious about giving me 30-25 years. So as far as I'm concerned, when I was out on the streets, all the people that was on the streets were actually locked up. So when I got locked up, I seen everybody that was on the street. And I was a rugrat when I was on the street. So when I went to prison, everybody already knew who I was. So I, again, started to act accordingly. Who I was then, I'm still that same person. So I got that love and respect from everybody there.
Right. Yeah, you did.
Well, that's when you do wild things and crazy things, people recognize who you are, and they don't want to get touched by that.
Exactly. And I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, because of the truth be told, being transparent, we being transparent, man.
Very much so.
There were some times in there, I didn't know what was getting ready to go down. And if it wasn't for this brother right here, he said, yo, I got this. I got this. And I just stood back and just let him handle the whole house. I just like, oh, okay, you got it. And that was it. But man, tell us what you got going on now. You went from incarceration to now businessman, entrepreneur, and this journey, man, that you're going. Tell us about it.
Well, it's been a long road. And when I say a long road to coming from where I was until where I am today, it was a transition not to be reckoned with, because I've always been a hustler. No matter what I got into, I had to be on top of the matter.
Okay.
Now life is different. I'm not on top of the matter. Some things are just beyond your control. Today, I take control.
Wow.
Yeah. Me that has to put my best foot forward, whether it be my right foot or my left foot. Either one of them is my best foot. I know now I don't have to live by the gun. I don't have to live by putting narcotics on the streets. I don't have to live by robbery, gas stations and supermarkets and small banks and insurance companies. That was a beautiful thing. That was at that time. I wouldn't want to do those things today because it would only lead me back to where I don't want to be.
Right.
And that 6x4 cell, it was hard.
Yeah.
Especially when your loved ones that you're anticipating that will give that support, they're not there. When you wake up every night, when you wake up every morning, you look over to see if your girl is there or your baby is there, and ain't nobody there.
Just you.
So it was hard for so long that I had to draw accustomed to it in order to escape some of the harsh realities that I was facing. So I had to actually put on this ego trip to be a little bit more masculine than I really was. I wasn't that hard dude that wanted to murder everybody. No, I was looking for peace within. But it was the anger that was built inside me that was coming out and presenting a character that wasn't really me.
Right. Got you. Yeah, I got you.
So I had to differentiate who I needed to be compared to who I was.
Okay. Tell us about the African American Cultural Organization. Tell us about that.
Outstanding. Good question. That was the AACO was an organization that I was a part of while I was in Arthur Kill Correctional Facility.
Okay.
And it was an African-based organization that taught Hebrew, Black history, things of that nature.
Okay.
And I was sergeant at arms of that organization. So I knew predominantly all the ins and outs of that organization and what it stood for. And once it closed and I went home, it was on my mind to reach out to those brothers. Unfortunately, that program shut down. So it didn't go any further. So I created a logo that said, "When I see you, I see me. We are in the struggle together."
Wow.
As I look at myself, I see everybody that I walk past every day in me. So it bothers me to see other people hurting in any kind of way. So I help whoever I can, whenever I can.
Okay.
No matter who it may be.
Now, is this a way we can get in touch with you if by chance somebody's watching and they might have somebody that might want to? Now, I mean, all over. I'm not just talking about New York. Is it, can anyone be a part of this, and no matter where they are? That's what I'm
Yes, as long as you are of black or brown persuasion, that we welcome you.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Gotcha.
it's an African-based organization, so
Okay.
I initiated this program to help get our youth back on path, because we
Okay.
have so many brothers and sisters out there on the street that don't have that mentor, don't have that father, don't have that big time uncle. Everybody is too busy or in prison.
Right. Right.
So I can say from 1985 to maybe 2002, they locked up like 9.3 million men,
Wow.
black and brown men. They
Wow.
opened up 17 extra prisons and double bunk men in all of these prisons.
Wow.
So it weakened our community. It
Wow.
weakened our community. This is why our children are out here today running crazy, because they had no guidance. Their mother was too busy trying to be too cute or up under the next man, so they didn't have time to aid
Okay.
those children.
Okay. I think
So
we got another question, and I'm just trying to see if we can get that question on here. And let me see if I can find it where it is. And this is good. This is good stuff. I'm not sure if I've seen it. Okay. Wow, that's a testament. The strength of God within you, you are telling the story. God bless you. Nicole, thank you so much. Nicole's in Columbus, Ohio. Like I said, this is also not just listening to these men, but it's also an opportunity for you to ask these questions, to put it in the chat. Ask these questions. You might have a loved one or someone who is facing this road or down this road, or actually there now. Marcus, I'm gonna jump to you right quick, and you help me with this one, and we're gonna come back to you, Kevin, in a minute. The brother in Frisco that had the altercation at the school here.
Yeah.
Was bullied by these two twin brothers, wanted to just stand under the tent, the tarp, while it was raining. And they told him, because he was a brother, and I'm not saying this was race related, but this is what it appears to be, man, get from underneath our tent. And the brother said to him, listen, he said, I think he said, you touch me, you're gonna see what happens. So they pushed him out. He grabbed his bag, went his back, and stabbed him in the chest. And now the boy died. I mean, hearing bits and pieces about it. Now you got a 4.0 scholarship thinking young man that is now facing possible some time, man. And he's scared because he didn't run far. He just said, I did it. I give up. Is he okay? I'm sorry, but he pushed me. I felt threatened. What is that going to look like for him here in Texas, man? Because Texas is a different beast than New York State. Now, let me tell you, and you probably know, Kevin, this is a red state, okay? So, Marcus, help me out with this one. Help me out, man. I'm got some concern about this young man, man.
Well, the way I've been kind of following that situation, and being that this young, both of them, all
both of them.
Kids. And you can tell the way somebody's being raised too. For that man to put his hand on that young man and push him off under the tent, that's called assault.
Yes, sir.
You put your hands on me, and I'm just defending myself. It's gonna take some money.
Right.
They ain't gonna just go. Oh, he put his hands on you. You defended yourself and you stabbed him. No, they ain't gonna just say he was defending himself. They ain't gonna leave it. It's gonna really take some people to get the boots on the ground to fight for this young man.
Yeah.
Seriously, because if he don't have people behind him fighting for him of the law, he gonna take a ride.
And we talking about
he gonna take a ride. We got to get out there and fight for this young man, because, like I said, if we go about the law, this young guy, even though it was a tragic, man,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he was wrong, man.
Right. Right. Right.
Put your hands on someone, man, and this man that defending himself. And,
That's what he
yeah,
did.
it happened just 2 seconds of not thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Darren Merlicly said we need so many men like them in a lot of communities, man. We need mentors. Do y'all agree? We need mentors, man.
Definitely,
It just can't be us,
Yeah.
right? It can't be us, man. We need mentors. And I think the problem is with wanting to be that mentor. Sometimes it's hard to reach them because they're so far gone, or they think that they don't need nobody, but they really do need. But how do we reach them now that they think they're too far gone? We ain't talking about the ones that's got the 4.0 GPA. We talk about the ones over in South Dallas, over there and up in the Bronx, that's just looking for trouble, wanting trouble. Over in Stamford, Connecticut, in the areas that's just gone down, Brooklyn. How do we reach them? How do we do this? How can we? It's got to start somewhere, and I'm hoping it starts with us. How can we do this? How can we reach them?
Just about a week ago, we was over at Wilma Hutchin High School in Auditorium, man.
Okay.
We was trying to get the young guys to come out and we could speak to them. It had like a panel of about 9 men. Some was incarcerated, some was police officers, some school teachers, some, and we had probably I'd say about 15 people, young guys. And I was telling them, man, I say, it's not about filling this auditorium up, but if we could just grab one, if we could just drop the seed on one, man, and water it, and let somebody else come behind and water it. So, because a lot of them don't want to listen, bro. I can raise my hand.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them don't want to listen. But they got some of them you're going to have to, you're going to have to walk with. Some you just have to, and just, because once you tell them your life story, man.
Okay.
This ain't something I read. This is something I lived.
Something you experienced. You lived it. That's right.
My testimony. And that's the hard felt right there. Once you can get to that point with them, you can win. You can win with them to where they can pick the phone up and call you. And you have to pick I got guys right now, man. That's my number.
Okay.
They can call me 1, 2 in the morning. I'm hello. Hey man, I don't want to, but now you ain't bothering me because I asked you to call me. Whenever you are facing something that you finna make the wrong decision on, man, call and talk to me, man. Maybe I can talk you down.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so it's just being able to pick up the phone, man.
And call. Right. Right. Kevlin, how about the organization? Is this something that's accessible to anybody that needs that? I need to talk to somebody.
Well, yes, we are in a process of hooking up a hotline for that also.
Okay, good.
But our mission is geared just for the youth, mainly for the youth.
Okay, good.
We're looking to finance people on a daily basis that can pass classes in any occupation that they choose.
Wow, that's good.
Enhancing them, not just financially, giving them a better financial stability, but is teaching them life skills for the future. So I don't want to. The program is not mission to help you get a job. This mission here is to teach you how to be a boss, not a worker.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, man.
See, as an entrepreneur, it's imperative that we give what we never had. I did not have that mentorship. I didn't have that dad that was present to put a boot in my butt because I've done wrong. Sure, I got beatings from all kinds of aunts and uncles and everybody else, but that only created a monster, a physical monster within me that now you can hit on me as somebody on the street and it wouldn't affect me physically.
Yeah.
So I absorbed, so I became a fighter on the street. So no matter what neighborhood I went in, I was always recognized as this guy that can fight. So I don't want that no more.
Right. Right.
I don't want to hurt nobody anymore over anything small.
My God.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
man.
big enough for me to do you dirty.
And I was just going to ask you, Kevin, man, tell us about your faith, your family, and how those pillars have helped strengthen you, man, through this journey, man. How is that?
Well, I'm not a man of any faith in
Okay.
particular.
Okay.
I lean toward my higher thinking
Okay.
as my prayer. You know,
I respect that.
as
I
we pray
respect that.
to our God, we ask for better. We
Okay.
ask to help. But in my opinion, you asking your higher conscious to do better.
Right.
Help guide you in a way where no one is out there to guide you. And
Okay.
I actually had to look at both sides of the spectrum and say, well, look, I need to go this way because I already know I have experience over here. So I need to go this way because I went that way and it really did me wrong. It hurt me. It hurt my family. My grandparents had 17 children. Everybody passed away while I was incarcerated.
Wow.
Everybody. All 17, including grandma and grandpa. I couldn't have a good goodbye in any way. Uh, it crushed me inside, not to be present or been able to help anyone in any way because of my past and my actions.
Because of the past. Right. I
Yeah.
got you. I got you. We had another question on here. I'm trying to get to it. Okay, there it is. We can sit back and talk about all the things that these young boys are doing without any guidance. He's 65 years old. I survived the streets when I was young, never got into trouble. And that's true, Darren. Yeah, you survived, but this was a definite and I can't even say this. You're 65, I'm 62. It was a different way of we thought different back there when we was coming up in the 70s and in the 80s, but there was still that some people made those choices. It's the choices we made, Marcus. It's the choices we made that got us to, be where we were. I mean, but for the grace, man, it could have been me. Yes, Kevin.
Well, when I say I definitely understand where he's coming from, but when you're lived in my neighborhood where 95% of the buildings are abandoned, you have lots everywhere, you have junkies and alcoholics laying over everything, and you have dead people lying in buildings and on sidewalks and on the corner, and that's a different survival world. So every neighborhood that you go to, you had to be in survival mode.
In every neighborhood.
In every neighborhood in New York City, whether you go to Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, you had to have that no nonsense type attitude. You had to have that within you in order to survive the neighborhoods that you go to.
Marcus, tell us about Dallas, Texas, man, back in the day.
It was it was like the Wild Wild West, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, either you're gonna be in or you're gonna be out, man. Like I was just trying to understand that I'm 65. Never, as a youngster, never had no, the age. And like you say, that was back in that time. It's totally different what's going on right now, man.
That's a fact.
Totally different. Yeah.
See, back then, the next door neighbor used to whoop you.
True.
See you doing something bad.
That's true.
Now, you put your hand, like back then, you go to school, the principals get you.
That's right.
Put your hand on them now. You either go to jail, you finna get shot, you finna do all this.
That's right.
So it's a different ball game. This beast that we have right now, walking around with their pants all hanging off their butt hands, and you can't say nothing to them.
Can't say nothing.
Turning around shooting you.
Right. That's Texas. That's what it is here. Yeah. So and I had to learn.
So the approach that we have to have with these young men today, man, is sometimes you got to sit there and just get them a stir, man. If you do that the wrong way, you might get killed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to pick your battles, man. How we gonna deal with them? How can we ease up on them?
Yeah. Lena Graham, perhaps also providing access to mental health and medical treatment, providing local resources, housing, employment, and social and support services, providing education and training.
Well, that's the key to everyone's existence. Everybody needs that education, that training. But how do we generate a steady stream for these kids to follow?
Right.
It's hard trying to grab the attention of somebody that has no guidance.
Don't want the attention. They have no guidance.
That's just like trying to get the attention of somebody that got a mental disorder. How do you get their attention? You got to act just like them in order for them to, this dude is bugged out. That's the only way you're going to get their attention. Because you got to act like them in order to get the attention. Well, today, this is why I'm developing this program, because they don't know how to act. So I'm giving you structure and how to become that man that you're supposed to be, that woman that you are supposed to be. Gotcha. This is why I need to finance you. I'm going to give you the incentive, cash incentive, to want to learn something. It'll take you away from where you were yesterday.
Yeah.
It'll help. It'll help. That's right.
The choices.
It'll help you get where you need to go tomorrow. So if we don't develop something that's going to help them today and tomorrow, we're shot as a community.
Yeah.
Right. Darren Malachi said, let's see, he says, we got to teach them their worth. A lot of these young kids don't know that they were or worth anything. These streets are their family. And the streets.
That's a fact. See, again, I go back to this organization because it's the community. We are our community.
We are.
So if we don't give nothing to it, what do you expect to get from it?
Right.
So this is one of the reasons why I want to give something to them, so they'll have a better chance at getting where they need to go. That's ultimately important.
That's the long-term goal for the organization.
Oh, yes, sir.
What do you need, man? What do you need? What can we do here at Embracing Community Podcast to try to help this organization?
Well, the all hands are open.
Okay.
We need donors. We need participants. We need advocates. We need mentors. We need sponsors. We need partners.
Okay.
Our hands are open.
Okay.
Because
Marcus,
you help me, I help him.
Marcus, we need to hook him up with Dr. Proctor. And I do believe that would be another good connection. Yes. Because I know they were headquartered out of California, but in Texas now. So we need to let him know about this organization.
Yes, sir.
Which is the RBCA Dallas Community Development Corporation. And there's the website there. Kevlin, if you don't have it, I'll email it to you so you can connect with him. And this man here, Dr. Proctor, good man in our church, man. And he's about those kids in the community, that second chance opportunity presentation. I don't know how they're doing it. I'm just learning about it, getting the information. I want to do some more research on it, but I'll make sure you'll get his contact information and let's hook them two up together. Yes, like I said, it takes a village, guys. It takes a village, man. To do this, because I can't do this without you in New York. I can't do this without you, Marcus, here in Dallas. I can't do this without people listening in Nairobi, Kenya, over in Dominican Republic. And there's a cry out in Pakistan. I'm sitting here every day when these people call me from Pakistan, just asking for help. I don't know what to do, man, but there's a cry out for help, man. But there's so, man, I'm just going every day and just trusting, man. And like you said, that higher calling, who I am and my way of thinking and who I believe in and who we trust in, and just asking God to help us get to this next level where we are being now, because we didn't meet by happenstance.
Yeah.
None of us here on this call
yes, sir.
met by happenstance. Come on now. All right. Now we going back to 1989 when I met you, sir. 1989 all the way up to present. We still what officer or correctional officer is friends with someone that was an inmate on their unit still to this day? You don't know too many of that. They don't even want to see them brothers no more, man. But the impact you leave on people is now transform us back here. We're in 2025. Marcus, we got work to do, man. We got work to do. Even if we don't do nothing but get on here and talk and preach and teach and try to invite them on. We need to get a podcast where we can get those guys from the street to get on here. I don't know how, and see, we just have to let them know, what we got going on and just see if they'll get on, and let's hear them. We need to hear what do you want? What do you need? What's going on? So we need to try to do that, man. And this is what we're going to work on. And I'm just watching the time here that's going down, and I don't want to keep us too long, but I appreciate the love and support that is coming in on the chat here. Darren Malachi, he said, and it's not just in New York, it's in Texas, all over these communities. Some of these Black stars and sports guys, like the basketball players and football players, we all got to stand up before we loose a race of babies, man. That's true. Everybody, we all have to stand up and try to reach out. But I believe, yes, sir.
No, I was about to say that's the community that I'm looking to grab hold to.
Okay.
Without their support, we won't go very far.
Okay.
I really need to jump on the bandwagon as far as, sports players and
right.
and things of that nature. Because when you get this type of word out with this type of program to a large community, it draws in more community.
Yeah,
it does.
That type of support would deem focus in an area where it's necessary.
Right.
This education and these trade skills are vitally important for tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So much so. Yeah, so much so. So we touched on a lot of things here today, and I'm watching the time because I want to make sure that we covered everything. But every time I look at the different areas, man, we done covered them more with the experiencing, mentoring others who are in similar situations. We got that. We know what we need to do, and giving back to the community, supporting these still facing the challenges. Invite listeners. Now, I think that the next thing to do is just invite listeners that can support us, man. I don't know how we can do it, but I'm going to try my best to get as many listeners in outside of our community, outside of my circle, to try to get the word out there. Listen, I've been doing nothing but investing in my own self here because I believe I'm invested in good soil. And sometimes I don't even care if I don't even have anything in my pocket. I'm investing in making sure that this stays up, making sure that this word gets out. I've never gotten on here asking for a dime, and I don't plan on it. I'll wait for the calls to come in and say, how can I help? So I'm not going to get on here and say, here's my cash app and here's my, I'm not going to do that because that's not what I'm being directed to do.
I'm going to do that.
I know you're going to do it. Yeah, you need to, but that's not the way I'm being led to do it. I believe it's going to come to me and people are going to say to me, how can I help? How can I be of help to the community that you have? And Marcus, how can they be a community help to us that we got going on here, not only just in our church, but in the community, man, here in Dallas, Texas? It's a lot. So I just want to go ahead and just wrap this up here because I'm looking at the time and see any more questions out there. I don't want to leave anybody out. Anybody got any more questions? If you want to get in touch with any one of these brothers, please drop it in the chat and they will get in touch with you. Because like I said, we're about the community. This ain't about the congregation. This is about the community.
Yes,
man. So this is where we got to reach out, man. So I want to encourage listeners to embrace yourself, embrace your faith, embrace your family, embrace your community and their own lives, love on each other. Even when they don't want to be loved, man, there are so many times that I know I'm trying to love on folks that don't want to be loved. And I just tell them, man, God loves you and I'm trying because you get on my last nerve, but I'm trying. Huh?
A lot of people don't know what that means.
They don't know what that means. Right. They don't know what that means. A lot of
people do not know what love means.
That's the problem. I think that's what the problem is. They don't know what love means.
How much you love them.
Right. Daniel, we got somebody jumping on now. Daniel Fontaine from Columbus, Ohio. He says, but on the other hand, if it's used critically, it could describe and refuse to grow, evolve, and adapt. Sometimes trauma-born attitudes like the distrust, aggression, or the hustler mentalities become defense mechanisms that outlive their unfulfilledness and start stunning progress. So he's talking about people who were born into this trauma of seeing the life. And I grew up seeing a life of my mom and my stepdad drinking, smoking weed, fighting when they come home from being out, and my mother getting up and putting on a dress and going to church on Sunday morning going, hallelujah, hallelujah. But in the meanwhile, we go home and we're living in hell. So just imagine that lifestyle. And what I had to do, like you said, man, is just pick where I'm going to go, make my own choices on who I'm going to be and where I'm going to go and how I'm going to get there, whether I got support from family or not. Laugh at me if you want to, talk about me if you want to. Marcus, they don't trust you, they don't love you, but look at you now, man. God has had so much, man, for you going, man. You are doing your thing. And I'm telling you, brothers, this has been something that I wish we might have to do this again. Some folks are coming. So we still got some stuff going on in here in the chat room. I don't know if y'all can see it. Darren Malachi says, some folks, though you cannot allow them to destroy your peace, some folks, you just gotta let them go because the purpose is helping someone else that wants to be held. That's thing we talk about. You gotta let them folks go. We gotta let them go, man.
Sometimes you gotta let people hit their head, bump their head in order for them to find understanding.
And then something to click in, hopefully.
Yeah, sometimes you have to let bag up and let because I'm a living witness.
Me too.
I'm a living witness, so therefore, it's like I had to. I'm gonna tell you something. Now, this I know we got time. God had to put me in a place to where I couldn't do nothing but look at Him. I'm serious,
right?
Because He done gave me that time to really realize this. I had to put you somewhere, not kill you, because He could have been and took me out the minute time bullets fly past my head.
Man.
Heard him. I had to lay you down in order for you to look up.
Wow.
And I leave that, and I'm gonna leave that one right there.
Ooh-wee, that's a good one. He had to lay him down for him to look up. Wow. Well, listen.
That was all right.
Yeah, listen, fellas.
All right.
We getting ready to go home and go to bed, but this song, man, I'm gonna put this on while we getting ready to get up out of here. Ain't no stopping us now, fellas. Hey. You know what we got to do. Ain't no stopping us now. We got to make this thing happen in our communities. We got to keep spreading the word, get it out there. No matter which way, which way we got to do it. I'm here for you. Listen, I enjoyed this session right here. Don't go nowhere after we log off, man. I'm gonna rap to y'all again a little bit after we get off, but I just want to just close out with this. This podcast has been brought to you by nobody but myself, man. And I'm doing this. Why? I love you because I love myself. And everybody on this chat can say the same thing. We're doing this because we love ourselves. And we can't give love unless we love ourselves.
That's a fact.
That's to the people. That's to our family. That's to our children. We got to have that love. And a lot of people, like you said, don't even know what love is. Hey. Love is an action word.
You got to be in it to win it.
Got to be in it to win it. Listen, thank y'all for joining in today. Thank y'all. I appreciate the likes, the loves. Follow us on the Embrace the Community podcast. If you want more of this, please let us know, man. We'll get it to you. But listen, we are here for you. We're here for the community. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and the review the podcast. Join the community social media platforms. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all those channels, and I'm sure these brothers are on the same thing, but we got to get this thing going and keep it going in our community. Thank y'all again for joining in tonight. Fellas, don't go nowhere. Man, I'm going to end the show, but man, I'll talk to you in a few minutes. But thank y'all so much, everybody that came on tonight. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate everything that was said. Thank y'all again. I tell you, thank you so much, but I appreciate it. All right, y'all have a good night.
Thank you for listening to Embrace It, the community podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Follow the community podcast page on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Please like and share the podcast with your community circle.